Welcome back to the Most Wanted podcast. I'm your host Nahum Bogala, and nothing is safe from discussion over here. Before we start off, let me shout out those listening in on Anchor, Radio Public, Overcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast, as well as Google Podcasts. Also want to give a big shout out to those listening in through Spotify as well. If you're listening in from Apple Podcasts, make sure to give a 5-star rating and review as well. If you're listening in on YouTube via the Broad Hive channel, make sure to like and comment on the video and subscribe to the Broad Hive channel while you're at it. You can stay up to date with the podcast on Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast, as well as Twitter at Most Wanted Pod. All right, so welcome back to the podcast. This is going to be the first segment of Project YYC for Season 2. Got to bring that shit back because I enjoyed doing it, and it seems like the audience enjoyed it too. So to kick it off, I want to start off by bringing in one of my good friends that I actually met because of the podcast. His name is Jehad. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, bro?
Hey. Fuck off. Fuck yourself. I hate TN. He's a bitch. I muted myself for a second. I forgot there was a mute button on the mic. He's a garbage fucking character for garbage fucking players. Fuck you, Bruce. Only Bruce I know in real life was this dude I went to acting school with who was much older than the rest of the class, so I'm visualizing him because he was also bald and freakishly fucking tall, just like TN, this fucking freak. Fuck you, Bruce. Anyways, what's going on?
Hey, thank you so much, Nahum, for the warm welcome. My name is JehadWaka, which is not my actual last name, but I promise Jehad is my first name. I am a friend of Nahum's that I met through his podcast just because I liked it, so I let him know. Now we homies. I'm a Twitch streamer. By the time that you're seeing this, there'll be some content out on YouTube, and I'm just an overall annoying person who has annoying thoughts that I like to share.
Sounds about accurate. Yeah, that makes sense. If you guys don't know, Jehad is a Twitch streamer, like he said. I'll be putting his links in the description for both the audio version as well as YouTube. All right, so quick question before we start off. Where the fuck does the name Waka come from? I think I asked you this before, but I completely forgot. Where does it come from?
I've gotten that a few times, and a lot of people like to take their shot, guess what they think it's from. 90% of people are wrong, but I like it when people guess the Waka Waka from Fozzie Bear, but nah, it's actually just the sound Pac-Man makes when he eats. It's not much deeper than that.
That's the most random thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, like, okay, it's weird, but there was some thought process behind it, I was like, I want something that's gonna be short and sweet, something that's still true to me, so I made the beginning part of it my name.
Right.
And like growing up, video games were basically my whole life, So I tried to think of some of the most iconic gaming mascots, and I grew up playing a lot of Pac-Man. I wasn't like super huge into the franchise or anything, but I played the shit out of the Pac-Man games that I had, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know, it just became kind of a thing from there. I couldn't think of anything else that kind of rolled off the tongue. Plus, I figured this way I would, get some people to check me out just purely out of misunderstanding the name. Because some people are coming in thinking I'm just a fan of Waka Flocka, and some people coming in thinking I'm a fan of Fozzie Bear. So either way, they're coming in. That's how I looked at it.
You know what? That's a smart move, especially the way how Twitch works. That's actually a very smart move. So I want to start off by saying, actually, you want to go into like how we first started talking? Because I think that's probably like a little story in of itself before we start talking about Project YYC questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a pretty like 2001 kind of way to become friends with a person when I think about it.
I mean, honestly, yeah, because I remember, I think I had...
sorry, not 2001. I meant to say 2020, 2021. Like, this is such a now way to meet a homie is what I meant to say.
I had a feeling that's what you meant. Don't worry about it. But I remember... I think I had recently just started the podcast, right? I think I was only like 3-4 episodes in, and normally I'm not expecting people to message me about anything, and then out of nowhere you message me. I didn't even know who you were, not even following on Twitter or whatever. You messaged me and you're like, "Yo, man, I really love your fucking podcast. Keep your shit up." And I was like, "Shit, for real? I actually really appreciate that. Is there anything I can improve?" Things like that. And then from there we just started talking. Then I found out you started Twitch streaming. I'm like, let me hop in. What the fuck? And then from there, it's just
word. Now you the main mod, legitimately.
Hey, Don't worry about that. I just like to cause chaos in your chat. Okay, that's all. That's my responsibility. That's my responsibility.
True.
But and I kind of, I really do appreciate the feedback, because like I asked you, it's like, yo, is there anything I could improve on? You're like, yeah, maybe you could add like segments. Maybe you could like expand your influence to different things. And I was like, perfect. I love those ideas. And then I think you also brought us like, yo, you could probably get a better mic. I'm like, I know. I was a little too.
I'm saying that legitimately, like right now, I finally upgraded my mic, so I was not one to be talking, but...
Hey, your mic was still solid beforehand, but now that shit looking mad crisp. Oh my goodness, that shit looking, with the armrest and everything, oh, that shit looking beautiful.
I love her.
I know. Hey man, you're lucky. Actually, you live right by my house. Yeah, best believe I'm gonna pull up and take it for research purposes. Yeah, I'm gonna just take it.
Good luck.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about my methods. Where was I gonna go with this?
I've always been the type of person to just shoot it straight. Like I don't remember who retweeted you and for how you showed up on my timeline. That's how I found you, was through Twitter. But I don't know who it was that retweeted you. I don't know how you showed up on my TL. And I liked it, so I just messaged you. I just wanted you to know that I liked your shit, because I feel like people from our city specifically, well, I'm sure a lot of people feel this way about their city wherever they are, but being here, I feel like a lot of times people try to do stuff in the city and everybody else just want to clown on them, So I was like, no, man, I see this dude, he's working at it, he's trying, and I liked what I heard, so I was like, let me just message him and let him know, because I feel like I know a bunch of people who were doing stuff and they were doing well, but they weren't hearing any kind of feedback, and so they just stopped doing it, and I didn't want that to happen.
Hey man, appreciate it. Now we practically best friends, and we just vibing, bro. We just levitating,
We just vibing, bro.
Of course.
I'm your biggest fan on the show, and I'm now on the show. Like, I love it.
Hey, of course. So, I want to start off by, what made you want to start Twitch? Like, why did you want to start, streaming on Twitch?
Honestly, to help me get over some like social anxiety stuff. I've been a performer pretty much my whole life. I grew up doing theater, always enjoyed acting and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's not really something I think about as much, but always enjoyed acting, always enjoyed theater, writing. Like, I was always into the kind of creative space, and so I did a lot of live performances.
Right.
But for some reason, I always had this weird anxiety about doing anything online, because I was like, in my head, well, not just in my head, it's true. When it's online, it's there forever,
True.
Even if you take it down, like, somebody can find a way. Like, it's there forever, So that's why I was always more comfortable doing shit like in person, because like, if I fuck up, it's only the audience that's gonna see that I fucked up. Audience is limited in that factor.
That's true. That's true.
But when it's on the internet, it's out there forever. And I had already made some content like that I just never shared or never put out anywhere, because I was worried, about like what reception I might get. So I thought live streaming would be the best kind of like in between, because it gets saved as a VOD, but it's also live and in the moment, which is something that, ironically, like for most people, that would be the more anxiety driven thing, is like performing live in front of people, because people are like, oh, you can edit, you can do this, you can do that.
Right.
But for me, it was the other way around. So Twitch was like allowing me to kind of do a bit of both at once. So it kind of helped me get over some of that anxiety shit. So that's primarily why I started, to gain the confidence to upload the content that I actually wanted to upload.
Right. And honestly, I think that's the same way with like most people getting over, social anxiety, where they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. Whatever happens, and then they go forward. And then most of them say, yeah, thank God, now I have no regrets about it. One of the best things I've ever done. And it's a really nice and wholesome thing to see, It's like, you're
like I had a boundary, so I tried to push it. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much like a fundamental part of life too, where you're just, obviously in a safe component, but like push your boundaries, push, what your comfort zone is to, what's more uncomfortable for you. And then you find out some things that you didn't think that you would enjoy. You realize that's probably the time of your life, So I want to ask, what were your influences to start streaming, or do you base your streams based off of like a certain type of streamer or influencer?
I mean, for the most part, I just kind of do my own thing. But if I had to say if there's any like content creators that I quote unquote like look up to, I don't look up to any of them as like a father figure or some shit like that.
No,
you
no,
know?
of course
I'm
not.
not like one. I'm not on that kind of shit where I'm getting too hooked onto these creators. But if there's any creators I'd say that would have influenced me in the way that I make things, or at least influenced me in the way that like even I think or I find that I kind of relate to. I do have like a short list. I would say, I'm sure you know him, Cosmonaut Marcus. You know Mark.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, and for me, a part of that was I really liked his attitude of even if I'm wrong, I'm gonna put my opinion out there, and my opinion's subject to change, and people grow, and I really respect that about him.
Right.
Because I don't agree with everything he says, I really don't, but I like the way he says it, and I like the way he makes his arguments.
I can agree with that.
Another on a like even larger scale, because like Marcus is big, but he's not massive.
Right.
I hope one day he becomes though. Like that dude deserves it.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's so funny. His dry wit is great too.
Right? Oh my goodness. It's so jokes. I watch his videos every now and then. I'm like, how is he not bigger than how he already is right now? Like he deserves.
He's one of the few like YouTubers who makes content revolving around like movies and video games a lot that has actually changed my opinion on a few things. Like I can sometimes get to a point with a content creator where like I can see their views and be like, I see why you feel that way, but I disagree with you about it or about this game or about this film. But like Marcus has made points that have like legitimately convinced me otherwise in certain films and stuff that he's talked about. So I was like, anybody who's got the silver tongue to change my hard-headedness, like I gotta just show some respect on that,
Yeah, it's like at that point, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, you earned it.
Hasanabi is another one. He's huge though, like he's massive. I don't know if you're as familiar with him. He's more on the political side.
I don't think I'm too familiar with him, no.
He used to be a member of the Young Turks. He's the nephew of, I think, the owner of that company, and they do like political videos and political breakdowns and stuff like that. They're very left-wing American, even though we're Canadian. But Hasanabi is a Twitch streamer, and he just talks about a lot of global issues.
Right.
So like that's something that I'm really into, and I think a part of that is because of the name that I have. I kind of get forced into a lot of political conversations, so it's forced me to learn about the world in a different way.
Right.
So I think that's why I kind of relate to him in a sense. And he also is just like, I didn't like him at first, to be honest. I got recommended videos of him. And I was like, this dude is so abrasive and aggressive. He's so fucking annoying, man. Like, I was annoyed with him at first. But then the more I watched, the more I'm like, fuck, like, this dude is right. He's so fucking smug, But, like, at the same time, I love it.
It's like that type of, it's pretty much like me then. At that point, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rude, but it is what it is,
Like, he's got, like, and this is, like, I'm talking about, like, this huge streamer. As if like this, he's some dude I know, but the way I look at it is he's got the right attitude, but he sometimes goes about some shit the wrong way. Like he said, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to get your shit flagged, because like I said, he's very political and he said some stuff. But like he did get banned off Twitch for some comments he made about some crazy shit. But it was.
Can I at least know the context of the crazy shit that he said? Like just the general topic, not anything specific, just the general topic.
It had to do with September 11th.
Ooh.
Honestly, it was just that he was taken. The way he phrased his sentence was not exactly literal in what he was saying, and people took it as quite literal. So yeah.
Got you. So people kind of took it out of context in that sense.
No, they definitely took it in context, but they like the context was there, but they just refused to like look at the actual meaning behind it.
Okay.
Sorry, that was like a hard tangent, but I get that way when I talk about politics and stuff.
Bro, listen, this whole podcast is full of tangents. You know this at this point. I'll be talking about a certain topic, and then I'll just veer off like to something completely different. I'm like, where the fuck did I go? Let's go back here, kind of.
Bro, you should have put a disclaimer at the top of this episode that I'm a controversial figure, just for the name alone, bro.
Hey, man, that's not your fault. The fuck, you were born with that shit. You're good.
No, but I mean, like, it's true. No matter where I go, I draw that conversation. People hear my name and they want to have that fucking conversation, you know? And like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, sure. But there's that one time where I'm like, I don't have time to educate you, fool. Like,
See, that actually was gonna lead into my next question. So as a Muslim man, right? Have you seen any experience on Twitch that like has there been any difficulty being on Twitch as a person of color, as someone who follows the religion of Islam, especially given your name as well, which makes it, you know, quite apparent?
honestly, I'm a pretty small streamer, so like I haven't really I've experienced a lot of that, just not on Twitch. I'm gonna preface that by saying not yet.
Right.
Because I know Twitch streamers who are very similar to me in both the sense that they're Muslim men and they have very like Arab names, maybe not ones that tie directly to Islam as much as mine does. Well, I mean, like Muhammad's another one that's also very much directly, but like I know some others as well that are bigger than me and definitely get more like bigoted messages and stuff like that. I went on my old Twitter, like before we knew each other, I deactivated that shit. I like that. I actually had a decent following on. I would get hate messages like left, right, and center just for my name, you know?
Jesus fucking Christ. On Twitter. See, Twitter is so fucked, man. It's so weird. Like, it's fun half of the time because you're just chilling with, like, you know, your mutuals that you pretty much are friends with. And then the other half, you're battling the most brain dead toxicity I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I mean, you've seen me on Twitter. For anybody who, like, really, really likes to get a healthy dose of just, like, toxicity, but like toxicity being pointed and slammed down towards like toxicity itself, then I'm the person to follow. All I do is argue with people and fight racists. Like,
not only that, but you also have quite a lot of hot takes as well on Twitter.
I got a few.
I mean, shit, I remember I think you said at one point, I think you said The Dark Knight was overrated. I think that's what you said.
Dark Knight is overrated. That is
okay.
correct.
Okay, hold on. Because Dark Knight is one of my personal favorite movies. But let me just hear your reasoning behind it.
I mean, what reasoning do I need? It just is overrated. Like, it's a great movie. It pushed superhero film forward by, you know, light years, you know?
Very true.
I don't think, it's not that I think it's a bad movie. I think it's a great movie. I legitimately very much enjoy the movie, but I think it's overrated as fuck because people suck the dick of that movie just a little too hard for my liking. Sorry, excuse the language, but
bro,
like people
you
treat
can swear,
it
it's
like
okay.
it's. I know, it is. We're Canadian, bro. I gotta apologize.
Man, shut the fuck up with that shit. You know that Canadian nonsense means nothing. That stereotype is bullshit, and we all know it.
I mean, I feel like we're like just really polite assholes. We're the most like polite assholes you'll ever fucking meet, you know? Like, I'll say sorry, I'll whoop your ass, but then I'll apologize.
Okay, that I'll give you. I think you also said Interstellar was also overrated too. That one, I was like, damn, Interstellar's in my top 3 favorites all time. I was like, hold up. Okay,
You know what's funny? I love Christopher Nolan, but I talked so much shit about his movies.
You do. At a crazy amount too. I'm like, damn, I thought you were a fan. What the fuck?
Like, the things I'm a fan of, I'm the most critical of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm also not one of those people who will criticize some shit that I've never seen. I will go out of my way to watch some shit that I know I'm not gonna like, just so I feel like I'm allowed to talk shit about it. I'm like, you gotta earn that right, you know? I'm not gonna talk shit up. That's why I don't talk about Fast and Furious, because I haven't watched enough of them to properly talk shit. I'll talk shit about what I've seen in the trailers.
Yeah, that's fair enough, but you haven't seen enough.
But I won't clown the movie entirely because I haven't watched them. But I promise you, the moment I watch the Fast and Furious franchise, I am going to shred it apart on Twitter. I will, but I won't do it until after I've seen it.
I think the thing is, so many people shit on like so many different series that they've never even seen before. I'm like, why? For what reason? You have no right or no context to even, like, for example, I'm a huge One Piece fan, right? And I see on Twitter a whole bunch of people call it like, yo, mid-piece or like One Piece is shit or something like that. I'm like, hey, yo. And then I see, like, I just scroll through before I start saying anything. I scroll through the comment section and they're like, yeah, I've never seen it before, but like it's so long. I'm like, okay, so you've never seen it before, but the fact that you're saying that it's garbage, how? Like,
It doesn't add up.
Exactly, like 1 + 1 is not equaling 2 at all in this situation. I'm like, what the? How?
That's That's why I never talked on One Piece, because I had never watched it, and I only just recently started watching it.
Hey man,
But I
another
just
person
don't talk about it. You know?
another person joining the One Piece Association, bro. You're welcome for putting you on, by the way. Hey,
Word, it was shout out to you and the homie Jose. Y'all badgered me until I started.
it had to have been done because you were like, yo, I need a new series to watch. And I looked at you. I'm like, I haven't even met you in person, but I just looked at you through the phone. I'm like, you know what my answer is gonna be. So why are you asking me?
I was setting myself up.
Oh man, it's perfect. It's perfect. So I want to ask you again, as what's it called? You know, because of Project YYC. You know, while you're streaming, right? Have you ever, like, when you first started streaming, what was your mindset? You know, when you first started. Like, I know you wanted to go through it mainly to get past, you know, your social anxiety, but did you have any big plans about it? You know, I know that you recently just got, I think, affiliated. Just
I got affiliated on my birthday.
oh shit! Wait, how long ago was that?
That
when
was
is your birthday?
November 29th. I hit affiliate on the day of my birth. It was dope. It was a really great present.
That's a fire birthday, bro. But like, did you have any idea on, you know, your growth about it on Twitch? Like, did you have any big plans about it, or?
I had no plans. I have plans now, but I had no plans when I started. When I started, my plans were as far as, let's see if I can get one person to hold a conversation with me in chat. That was my goal. That was the only thing I cared about. I didn't plan conversation topics. I still have a hard time thinking about them, but now I'm not even gonna lie, now I take it a lot more seriously. I have a little, like, my notes in my phone. When some shit happens during the day, I'll write it down, not in full length, just so I can remind myself. And sometimes when I'm getting dry on stream, I'll quickly take a look and be like, oh yeah, that happened today, I could talk about that. But when I first started, I had no plans in my content, in what I was playing. I just wanted to, one, talk to somebody, like, you know, be able to hold a conversation,
Right.
and two, see if I could meet some people that were into the same games I was, but not just into those same games, but at the same level that I was, you know?
Okay, so that's why you'd be looking on your phone every now and then. That makes so much more sense.
You'll notice every
now.
once in a while I'll glance down, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a hard conversation switch.
Now it makes perfect sense now. I'm like, wait, where did this, like, it's not like it's a bad thing, of course, but I just noticed, I'm like, damn, that was a new convo.
Well, it's not that I like have a bad memory or anything, but like when you're streaming, all of a sudden sometimes like because you're, you know, juggling a lot of balls. You got chat, you have the gameplay.
Juggling balls.
Y'all, you know what I meant. Okay, stop hitting me with the Riley pause.
Hey, pause though. You know, just saying.
I mean, I technically said it before you did, but
But I wasn't the one who. Yo. Let's not get into the technicalities here.
You
were the one that started
semantics. You know what? I'll take it. This is your podcast. We'll move on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, sometimes you lose focus and stuff like that. So it's not that I have like a terrible memory or anything, but like you got so many plates spinning. You like that I changed it this time? That's just
I do.
For you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Because I know you in the back of a kitchen right now.
I'm actually not. I'm in the basement where it's, I don't know how to describe this. This is like the lounge area of the restaurant.
You in a
I don't know how to describe. Break room. That's the proper term. Thank you.
But yeah, so I just find that it helps to sometimes have those notes. Maybe I'll get a little bit sneakier about it though, so y'all don't notice as much. Maybe I'll sync it with my PC so I can have them show up on my left monitor here, and I'll just pretend I'm reading chat.
Oh, you sneaky bastard! Oh my goodness. When it came to Twitch, right? Did you have an idea about the equipment that you were gonna need, like? When you first started streaming, I think you told me that it was just, you know, your laptop and I think your mic, like a basic mic.
Yeah. So I had my PC that I had like just built not long ago. I only switched to PC just maybe a few months before I started streaming.
Right.
Growing up, I had one, but I never had like a gaming PC. So like, I first tried Twitch before that. This was a couple of years ago, actually. This was not my first attempt at... I'm not going to say my first attempt, because before it was never really an attempt. I just wanted to understand what Twitch was. So I
Right.
started streaming random stuff off my PlayStation, and then I wanted to learn how you stream through a computer. So I tried to get like streaming to work through my MacBook, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, I heard MacBooks are shit when it comes to streaming on Twitch.
I mean, I didn't have the greatest one anyway, so I couldn't really tell you. It was the only Apple device I've ever owned. Also, I'm not an Apple guy.
Fair.
We're not gonna get into that argument right now.
No. I'm using literally my iPhone to record the camera version.
And I'm using my S9 to record this footage right here. So there
Honestly,
you go.
I really can't tell the difference. I genuinely cannot tell the difference between my camera and your camera. Am I bugging?
I'm not trying to talk about work right now. This sounds like work talk right now. You know? Like, I work at an electronics store. This is all we do.
At this point, you're like, yeah, I'm fried, bro. Just
I
let's
just got
drop
from
it.
work.
Oh man, you just be like, yeah, I'm done. Just drop it. That's the same way when people like I'd be at school and people would be like, yo, you work at your family restaurant, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. It's like, what's good there? I want to order. I'm like, bro, I'm there all the time. Please,
It
let me
all
just
tastes
stop
the
talking
same
about.
now.
Everything tastes the same. Oh, I'm like, yo, please, let's switch. How was your day? How's the weather? Please, anything else except what we're talking about right now. I don't want to talk about work.
Exactly.
Oh man.
No, but yeah, so I kind of started just with like my PlayStation. That was my first like adrenaline rush of like when I now started streaming. I thought back to one specific night when I first used to dabble with it on my PlayStation. I'm like, if I can ever replicate that number of people watching, because I had zero my entirety of when I was just like doing random stuff on my PlayStation. Until one night I was live streaming myself playing PT, the playable trailer for Silent Hills, which got canceled, which was being originally created by Hideo Kojima in partnership with Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus as the main character. It was going to be the most bomb horror game ever. You can't download this playable trailer anymore. You can only download fan-made versions of it.
Right.
I was live streaming it, and what was interesting is at the time nobody knew what the game was. They had just randomly shown it off. This was right after E3. They showed it off. They literally created an entire fake gaming development company, created a name for it, registered it, and showed it off like it was some random new game. They put it up on the PlayStation Store for free, and it wasn't until you completed all the puzzles that you found out that it was just a playable trailer for Silent Hills. So at the time, nobody had cracked the puzzle. The game had just dropped. It was near midnight. My cousin was over. I'm like, okay, let's play it and try to stream it. And who knows, maybe somebody will help us figure it out as we go,
Right.
Like if they're in chat. Keep in mind, I'd never had a chatter at this point.
Hey, shit happens,
Being mad optimistic,
Right.
But that's exactly what happened. And I had a couple people in. They were trying to help us solve some of the puzzles. Keep in mind, this was happening worldwide, and nobody had solved the puzzle yet. It was a collective thing that like gamers everywhere were doing. It was a cool moment in gaming history, is what I would say. And it was a horror game too. So I think it was about 2 a.m. We got one of our biggest jump scares, and me and my cousin freaked out, and we were screaming. And at that point, like the number just skyrocketed to near like 30 people, which when you're not having any viewership ever, and then you go to 30 people. And the reason that happened is because we screamed so loud. My brother came down and beat my ass and didn't know we were streaming. At that point, I had forgotten because I was getting such a bad ass whooping. And so every once in a while I think back to that and I'm like, I gotta just replicate that energy, replicate that ass whooping energy,
Oh my goodness. Bro,
So
I
I was
thought
like-
the reason why it jumped was because you guys solved it, not because of ass beating. What the fuck?
No, I think it took collectively like the world about like a little over 24 hours to beat all the puzzles because it played out differently and in different orders on different people's PlayStations. It was a crazy moment in history. It was a cool moment in gaming history.
Wait, wasn't Hideo Kojima, I think that was the name that you said, right? Wasn't he the same creator of Metal Gear? I think it was.
100%.
Oh, right. Okay, now I know which game you're talking about. Right. Yo, that game was had so much hype. Everything cool?
Yeah, cool. I just kind of smacked my desk a little bit. I didn't know if I fucked up audio for you. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool. I just saw something wobble a little bit. I was like, yo, is everything cool? Motherfucker's
good.
getting an earthquake and shit. Just concerned because, you live right by my house. I'm like, shit, is my house okay?
No, we good.
I bet. But, Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, that's such a fire way to start streaming. Like, you get ass beating literally on what, like your third stream or whatever.
Yeah, and this was like years ago before I actually started doing it now. It wasn't even on the same like Twitch channel, I don't think. I think I had a different channel altogether at that point. I'm pretty sure this was, I don't remember what year this was, or whatever year PT came out. So I don't even know if Amazon owned Twitch at that point. Still, like...
Wait, Amazon owns Oh, they do. Yeah, that's why Prime Gaming. My fault.
They've owned them for a while now. I think since like 2014, 15. I could be wrong.
Damn, what the fuck?
I mean, I could easily look it up. I just don't feel like it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Quite understandable. But what type of games do you normally... Well, I mean, I know the answer, but like, what type of games do you normally stream and shit? Like, you know, first player games, you know, shooting games. Kind of give a sense of what you do on Twitch.
So it's kind of a grab bag. Right now I'm not... Well, by the time that people are hearing this, I'll be on a consistent schedule. Yo, Future Jihad here. Just came to interject and let you know that the schedule has actually changed since we initially recorded this podcast, so I'm here to correct that real quick. I'll be on Twitch on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays every evening, and for the most up-to-date information, you're best off follow me on Twitter. So a little bit late. We go late where, you know, around here, because I work 6 days a week, so it's the only time I can make it.
Quite understandable. Oh, so General Mountain Time, because there's some people who are listening in other time zones.
True.
General
Sorry,
Mountain Time.
General Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. And primarily I'm streaming a bit of a mixed bag. I kind of grew my stream a little bit off of Dragon Ball Fighters. Because I grew up mainly playing platforming games and fighting games. Those were kind of my thing. So Dragon Ball obviously was like the biggest fighting game of the last few years. It collectively gathered the entire FGC. So I did a lot of Dragon Ball. I'll still go back to every now and then. I like to play Mario Kart because that gives me a chance to play with people that are in chat, which is a lot of fun. And also because I used to be a brand ambassador for Nintendo, so I get to tell a lot of fun inside behind the scenes stories, or just like, you know, stupid stuff from my Nintendo days.
You want to tell a story about that for the audience here?
I mean, I could tell you about when I absolutely refused to put on the Luigi costume at Stampede, because not in that heat.
Wait. I gotta hear the full story on this one. There's
Hold
no
on,
way.
actually, that was a story in itself, but the day itself was so much greater because, so this was, I don't think it was last year Stampede, maybe the year before. So the Nintendo booth or tent, it's like a giant tent that's, you know, the size of, well, it's larger than my bedroom.
Right.
Basically my entire basement. And I don't know if you remember this, it was on the news too. There was a huge windstorm that year, and some of the TPs got knocked over. Like, they literally ripped apart, like got lifted off the ground, you know, like the decorative ones, not like the ones that are not actually... They're much heavier than they're supposed to be because they're decorative. Right. You're not supposed to move them. Ripped right out of the ground. It was crazy, right?
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, and like our entire tent is outside, and we have all these TVs hooked up, and like there's wires going everywhere. And there's kids running around in between, like, oh, I want to play Mario Kart. No, I want to go play Splatoon, right? And so like they made us like get everybody out. We had to like close up all the like zip tie parts of the tent, and they literally had each one of the brand ambassadors standing on each corner or wherever any of the like the parts that connect to the ground were, just because they needed our extra weight to stop the tent from lifting up, because we didn't have enough time to actually pull everything down. And at one point, bro, I kid you not, I turned to my left, I see my boy Steve literally laying down on the ground, holding on to two sides of it for his dear life, lifted, like freaking out, and I'm like, what is this,
bro? What the fuck is this? Wizard of Oz or Wizard? What's it called? Wizard of Oz. That's what it is.
It was terrifying for like a solid 5 seconds. I panicked. Like I don't have like, I have anxiety, you know, with certain things, but like in these moments, it's not usually something that hits me. My anxiety is completely different, right? But for like 5 seconds, I panicked. But then something hilarious happened that just drew me right back into reality. As I'm seeing Steven like almost lifting off,
right, I
see these two like 14-year-old kids like try to like, cause they get into one part of the tent we didn't quite close off yet, and they're like, oh, so we can't play Mario Kart right now? And I immediately burst out laughing. I'm like, we're gonna be okay.
It'll be just fine. Oh my goodness.
That was probably one of the funniest days working for Nintendo.
Oh my lord. But they tried to get you in a Luigi costume?
Oh yeah, it was so hot. I was like, nah, that's not me today. I'm like, that's not me today.
Bro,
I'm like, I'm gonna host the Mario Kart tournaments today. Have fun.
Have fun. It's like, yeah, you'll never catch me in a costume a day in my life like that.
And the thing is, at the time, my hair was really, really long. I was like, no, we not doing this. Because I was growing it out so I could donate it at the time. So I was like, no. My hair too long and thick right now. We're not getting in this costume.
I'm not trying to get fucked up like this. No way. But man, going back to what you said about Dragon Ball, oh my goodness. That was probably the most iconic shit. Dragon Ball Fighters, at least. I think one of my friends, Boyer, put me on. I think when it first came out, he's like, yo, it's only out for like $20 right now. Go buy it. We can start playing. I'm like, sure, whatever. And I started playing. And I'm not a huge person. I'm like not really big on fighting games. I'm more so like a single player gamer type of thing most of the time. Unless it's like Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart, in which case I dust every time. But what's it called? I think when he told me to download, I was like, sure, whatever. It's only $20. So I bought it. And I was still kind of an amateur at it. You know, I'm still playing around. We were both amateurs. We were both playing. And then, you know, he'd win. I'd win some. He'd win some. Then he got really good. And I started getting cooked. And I'm like, fuck it. Now I actually got to learn how to play. Mm-hmm. And then learning how to play, especially with the unique mechanics with each different character, was so much fun. And the amount of stress and anxiety that you get through it when you're playing ranked is so, like, that is the type of shit where you clench your asshole type of thing. Like, you're like, oh shit kind of thing.
That's why people fall in love with fighting games. It's personal, you know, in a fighting game. It's 1v1. It's not Warzone. I can't blame it on, oh, some guy sniped me from 200 fucking yards away, or I randomly got put in a place that had no weapon, or you've got nothing to blame. You can't bullshit your way out of it. Mm-hmm. That's why fighting games give you that kind of grit, I think, more than any other game. Like, and I used to be into FPSs, not so much anymore, but I never get the thrill from winning in an FPS or feel the defeat of losing as hard as I do when I play a fighting game. It has like those ultimate highs and lows because...
Oh, man. When you're on a winning streak, you know? It's the greatest feeling in the world. But when you're on a losing streak, I promise you'll never be closer to punching your TV. I think I told you this story one time, but I was playing ranked, right? And I'm making my way up to the ranks, and it was a bad day that day. Like, I was losing consistently. I think I got D-ranked one at that day. And I remember just, like, I was in the middle of playing a match, right? And it's, like, best of 3. Or best 2 out of 3, sorry. And I remember it was like I won the first one, he won the second one, and then it was game 3, and it was neck and neck, and I was just about to win, and he rage quits. I promise you, I've never been so close to punching my TV a day in my life. Oh my goodness! Like I don't rage that often when it comes to games, but I've never been so pissed off until that moment. I was like, I was about to break my controller. I was about to break my PS4. I was literally just about to like leave, just go Amish and just no technology for a solid week. I was so pissed. I was pissed. And I think you were the first person I told. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Fuck games. I'm so sick and tired.
We were both raging about Dragon Ball that night. I remember that. We were both mad.
Oh my goodness. But like that game is so much. I actually haven't played. Now that I think about it, I actually have not played it in a while.
It was a perfect storm for it when it came out. It's a game that like we kind of needed, in the fighting game community. Because like I said, I grew up playing fighting games. My background in fighting games, by the way, for people is Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, but more Street Fighter than Mortal Kombat, and a lot of Marvel versus Capcom, like a lot. But that game brought everybody together in such a great way. It was such a perfect storm for it because the last Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had just dropped, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks before Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it flopped, which honestly, I don't know why they changed the formula. They made it 2s instead of 3s. They got rid of all the X-Men characters because of like rights issues and not wanting to cross any toes, and put all the like Marvel movie versions of characters in the game and stuff. I don't know. It was a train wreck. The whole Infinity Stone gimmick was so bad, you know? And then also before that, the last big ones were, I can't remember which Mortal Kombat came before that, and with Street Fighter, right? It was Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5, when it came out, was lacking in so much content that even when it got more content, people had already given up on it. So there was a huge vacancy, because like there's always that big group of different, like there's always going to be Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Smash Bros just goes on forever, you know?
It's immortal. It'll never die.
And then with Marvel versus Capcom flopping, with Street Fighter being, I'm not gonna say abandoned, because it now at least lately it's actually been thriving quite a bit, which is, you know, great for it.
Of course.
I'm not gonna get back into it though. Fuck that. It's too long, too late. So it was kind of a perfect storm, because there was so many vacant points. And at the time, during E3, like, we didn't know if Smash Bros was going to go on, because, like, you know, like, Nintendo does not like to support, you know, Melee anymore. They wanted to get everybody up onto that new shit. And, you know, the Melee community goes hard. They're never going to let
Oh, man, I love the Melee community. But especially, have you heard what happened with like, a whole bunch of sexual assault cases that were coming up?
Yeah.
That was disgusting. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I think, like, huge names in that community, too. I think
Huge
Nairo, Mewtwo King was accused, but, like, he brought up, like, he had to bring up, like, personal stories where it's like, I physically cannot do that. And it was really sad to see.
There was also that female commentator. I can't remember her name. She groomed a fucking 15-year-old, bro. Like, and nobody was talking about, everybody was talking about every other allegation. Nobody was talking about the fact that she was grooming a 15-year-old, bro.
What the I did not even hear about that. What the shit?
I feel like we'll go into the details about that. I feel like after stream, because it's pretty graphic.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to, you know, like, trigger anybody or anything like that. Especially because I don't know, like, full details, and I don't want to give out any misinformation.
Right.
We live in an age of misinformation. I'm not trying to contribute to that shit, you know.
Oh, of course. Like, if you want to bring out facts, you know, come out with the correct facts. Otherwise, then what's the point of you talking? It's bullshit.
Exactly. But yeah, sorry, to loop back to Dragon Ball. There was just like this empty lot, you know, because there was so many of the games that usually fill those slots were either not being represented properly or not being represented at all. So when Dragon Ball came out, it was just the perfect storm. A lot of people in different fighting game communities were lacking, and they were craving something new. So when Dragon Ball came out, it just kind of filled that space for so many people, including myself. I was from the Street Fighter drop-off, you know? Like, I dropped off at Street Fighter 5, and I floated around with different fighting games, but didn't find one that truly stuck with me. Like, I liked Injustice. I liked Injustice 2. They never really stuck with me, though. The new Mortal Kombats didn't quite, but I feel like Dragon Ball was that thing that resonated with a lot of people, especially in the Marvel vs. Capcom group, because, oh boy, you know, like, the comparison, it's hard not to. They're both 3v3 team-based, you know, especially now with Z, or Dragon Ball FighterZ Z going even deeper into that with getting, like, you know, Z, like, they have different assists for different characters now, so it's hard not to compare the two. And yeah, Dragon Ball just came out on top, you know, it filled in that role for so many people.
Man, especially those Evos. Oh my goodness, Sonic Fox versus Goichi. Bro, every now and then I go back to watching those finals. Oh my, the level
that
of
shit
play
is an anime. Them two playing is an anime.
Oh god, bro. Oh, it was so fire watching. I'm like, yo, how can I do that? And I'm like, how are they pulling off those combos and the comeback wins? I'm like, yo, this is...
Sonic Fox is one of the people who inspired me to start taking Dragon Ball more seriously. Like, I'm not like a top tier player or anything, but like I'd say I'm above the average player, you know?
Right.
I'd say I'm that way in most video games. I'm not like fantastic, which is, you know, sorry for anybody who wants to watch my stream and thinks that I'm going to be giving you this god level gameplay. I'm not at that point, but with a lot of games, I'm very quick to pick them up. You know, like that's been a natural talent of mine. Like if I want to learn a game, I will learn a game. You know. Right.
So it's like an all around type of thing, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've always been comfortable learning game mechanics. Like it's always second nature to me. You know, like. I don't know where I'm rambling into at this point, but basically what I'm trying to say is like, I don't think people should be watching my Twitch streams to focus on amazing gameplay.
I mean, then again, that's most people. Like, people are going there. or in terms of support, people would probably just tune in to watch you do it, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that doesn't
hear
mean
your
I don't
commentary.
try though. You know, like I still try. I'll still occasionally I'm occasionally Goku going UI Omen, just reaching into the domain of the gods, but not quite getting there. You know, I hit that sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair.
That sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair. So speaking of Dragon Ball, you actually are a huge fan of the series.
Wearing the Goku shirt right now, baby.
Oh, I just noticed that too. I saw the
Wearing
Goku
this-
hair, but I didn't notice the rest of it.
Yeah, it's a play on the Adidas logo, but it's Saiyans.
Okay, that's pretty dope. I like that. I rock with it. Do you think like your love of anime or manga or comics, as you like to call yourself, the rap Peter Parker, has that also influenced the way that you stream or your style of streaming or anything that you added into your stream itself?
I mean, definitely. For two, I have like two main reasons / examples. Like one being, what you're interested in completely alters your personality, regardless of how you want to feel about that. It's true. Like if you're in a Dragon Ball, that usually means that you're a gangster ass motherfucker. And if you're into Naruto still at this point, that means that you're having a hard time letting go of a great series that is not there anymore. So like it affects your personality no matter what.
Hey, we throwing in Naruto slander? Wait.
Yeah.
No. I was about to start slandering because I love the series, but I have some agendas against it. I'm not gonna cap.
No, I mean I love Naruto. I love Naruto almost the way I love Dragon Ball. But like I said, I criticize the shit that I love way harder than the shit that I hate. But yeah, so I think that was just me trying to play off a joke. But generally, I feel like everything that you're into is an extension of your personality. So the whole point of Twitch streaming for most people, like we were saying, is not about the gameplay. It's usually about the personality. So I think in that way it's inevitable, So if you're into anime, it will affect your Twitch stream because that's a creative outlet specifically. The same way, like if you're into anime, it probably affects your artwork if you're an artist.
Very true. Very true.
Right.
I think, for example, one of my friends and former Project YYC member, Alexa, she told me that, her love of anime, different manga styles that she was really into, definitely influenced her because she's a tattoo artist. And so she was saying, yeah, that's influenced her work immensely. So what you're saying makes perfect sense.
Or like even those people who say, I'm trying to get jacked like Goku, that's anime influencing them in a completely different way, but that's them influencing you in a way that's trying to motivate you and get you into shape. So I think it's inevitable when you're in, and it's not just with anime, it's with all of your interests, unless you're the type of person that is very, very introverted in your everyday life, in which case that's fine. But I feel for most people, especially people who put stuff online or do anything in a creative aspect, like, make art, make movies, make film, and everything is art at the end of the day. But anybody who works in those creative spaces, I find it's inevitable that your interests and your personality is going to be in there because you wear it on your sleeve in those kind of formats.
Yeah, it's like a very true to form to what you are as a person, and your personality or what you're into definitely play a big part into that.
But like on a more literal sense, 100%. Every time I get a follow, Vegeta gets kicked in the dick, and every time I get a raid, Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. So yes, my anime interest has definitely affected my Twitch stream.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Vegeta getting kicked in the dick, that was a part of what, the Cooler movie, I think it was?
Yes, the Cooler's Return. Yes,
it's like the Revenge of Cooler. Yeah, Mecha Cooler. That was the one.
Yes.
Oh, man. But the Dragon Ball Z abridged version, beautiful. In my opinion, the abridged version is the better dub of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to clown you on the opinion either, because they did such an amazing job.
Especially in the Cell Saga. I would say, the Saiyan Saga, you could tell it was, a bit rusty, what they were doing. The Frieza Saga was, you could tell, things were getting clicked into gear. But the Cell Saga...
They nailed.
Oh, they did it perfectly. I was like, what the... Character development? They actually did Krillin and Android 18's relationship better than the actual fucking manga. I'm like...
And... the juxtaposition between Gohan before and after snapping into Super Saiyan 2, they even nailed the personality shift too.
They did it perfectly. Oh, I was so sad when they said that they couldn't do the Buu Saga because of fucking stupid ass Toei. Oh, I was so sad.
I heard something about that not being a thing anymore. I could be completely wrong about this, but I think I heard something about them actually saying that they might be able to continue the series in some way, shape, or form, but not in a way that we formerly had seen. I may have read that somewhere, but I'm not going to say that's for sure.
So what they're doing right now is, instead of actually like having, animating the Boo Saga, but the abridged way, they're having it like they're having different skits in the time in between, like the Cell Saga and the Boo Saga. So I think that's like what, 7 years in between?
Okay, so something similar to when they had that extended break and they animated all of those extra Cell verses kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
pretty
that.
much. So I think they had, for example, like Vegeta taking care of, baby Trunks, and Nappa came in to help him. They're doing, and it's all original, like animated by them, rather than, by taking scenes from the actual show and then, having voiceovers. So I think there was that one about Vegeta. They're having a new series right now where it's Cell in the Afterlife, and it's pretty much, or Hiffle, that is called.
I did see a thumbnail for that. I don't think I watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's fucking hilarious, bro. Oh, I shit in laughter every time I watch it. Oh, they do not miss. Like, there's Frieza, there's Cell, there's the Ginyu Force that are chilling down there. Raditz is even down there. Oh man, it's perfect. The jokes that they say, I don't even know how they pull it off so well. And it doesn't even come off as cringy. It's just funny. That's the best part about it.
Yeah, I definitely got to check them out. I haven't been keeping up with them.
Man, they have not been missing. I wish that they could do the Boo Saga, but like, I understand why they can't. So it sucks, but it is what it is,
Oh no, I know. It would have been dope to hear their interpretation of Vegito. That would have been great.
Even that, Majin Vegeta. I would have loved to hear what they would have done with Majin Vegeta. That would have been
How
so fucking
cocky he would have been.
And
Oh
it's
my
already
goodness.
like cocky enough in the bridge. And to escalate that by like tenfold, oh my goodness, I would have paid money to see that. Oh my goodness, but it is what it is,
Yeah, that's not for us. That's for a parallel universe version of us.
Fucking variants and shit. Oh man.
They
You know
got
what?
that shit.
We'll save Loki for after. But I know that you are also starting up a YouTube channel as well pretty soon.
Yeah, I actually already have a bunch of content made. I just want to do some fine tuning before I start uploading, and I figured it'd be smart to make a few beforehand. That way I could have time to start making as I go and have a few stockpiled that I could upload in between while I'm making some. Kind of, just getting myself geared up beforehand.
Of course.
But yeah, right now I'm just kind of in the process of deciding in what order I want to upload these, because some of them are similar in terms of format and what they're about and how they work, but some are completely different.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm going to categorize them in a different way or treat them as different segments. Really, the main thing right now, though, is I'm trying to decide how negative I want my first video to be.
Okay, well, the thing... Oh, first off, before we go in any further, what's the name of the channel? Because I genuinely have no idea, but I want to broadcast.
It's just JehadWaka. All my social media, all my across all boards, you can just catch me at JehadWaka.
Say less. I'll put all your links in the description for YouTube, for the audio versions. I'll put it everywhere for you.
I actually had videos on YouTube from years ago when I was in high school, but my anxiety, like my deeper anxiety problems about like that kind of stuff, kind of stemmed a little bit near the end of high school and after high school, and that's when I privatized everything. But I did have some stuff out there, which kind of, I guess I'm glad now, even though I cringe when I look at it. I'm glad I understood. I'm glad I learned a little bit then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Experience means everything.
But yeah, no, it's JehadWaka across the board. You should be able to tell where you're at based off the picture of the draft, just about everywhere you go to look for my name.
Yeah, your long ass neck. Jesus Christ. Throat goat looking ass boy.
I mean, that gives me that extra height. So like, you could say what you want, but without this neck, I'm losing a couple inches on that. This is what
That's
makes
fair.
me 5'10". This is what makes me
That's
5'10".
what makes you 5'10". I am not. Who am I without the neck?
I hate when people try to like say, "Oh, I'm taller than you," and they measure at their shoulder. I'm like, nah, that's
No,
not
that
how it
doesn't
works.
count. The fuck?
Like, fuck off of me.
No, you got to go from the head. If you're not going
Like-
from the head, no, that doesn't count.
Like,
That's
it's such a
bullshit.
disadvantage for a homie like me with this kind of neck,
Of course. So what are you planning on posting on YouTube, by the way?
So a lot of it, it's I guess the best way to be describing most of my content would be like video essays. Some of them are a bit more loose formatted. I didn't want to make them too too fine-tuned, if that sounds weird. Like, I don't want to put in the work. No, what I'm trying to say is I didn't want to make them like too formal, because I feel like the more I focus on exactly what I'm going to say, the more I'm going to sound like a robot, not be able to show off my personality. And the more that I feel like, and even in the opposite end, I feel like you can still have your personality and be that way. But sometimes I feel like when you information overload, you lose people, like, so I'm not going to, even though I could, and we've had discussions like this where I can get really in depth about the technical aspects of different films and different stuff that I liked and didn't like. I'm not going to be focusing too much on that kind of stuff, just because I don't want it. That's not all I want to talk about. I might dip into talking about that kind of stuff sometimes, but it's mostly going to be broad overall stuff about different films, different TV shows, just media in general that I enjoy, video games. I try to come at everything as positively as I can, but there are some things I obviously don't know how to be positive about.
Of course.
Which is why I'm trying to decide which videos to upload first, because honestly, there's a couple where I just kind of rave about a few things that I really enjoy. More, not even an essay format, more as an attempt to help people understand why I like some of the stuff that I do. But then I also have some where I'm very, very critical, not just of games or specific movies, but like even specific, dare I say it, content creators that I have an issue with that
hold on, are you getting some smoke? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke. Because the way I look at it is there's a few channels that I see that are really, really negative overall. And I don't mean it's not okay to be negative on YouTube. You can definitely have negative opinions, but I mean, like, they're legitimately like creating toxic communities that are damaging to other communities and stuff like that. And when I see these things, I started to think about it. I'm like, how come a lot of these bigger streamers don't help put a stop to this, or these bigger YouTube creators, these bigger whatever, And then I realized that it's the punching down thing. They're so big that if they went after that person without like 100% evidence of them being 100% despicable, then they would come off as like the big guy going after the little guy, and they can't do that, And then I saw that like I smaller creators don't want to go after those medium-sized people that are making this, that are creating these breeding toxic grounds, because they're afraid of having that community come over to them and start attacking them. You know what I mean?
True.
So I looked at it as, it's not that I'm not afraid of the harassment. It's more that I've dealt with that kind of harassment my entire life. And I know like a lot of bigger content creators can't really say what they want to say about certain topics like that. But me being a smaller content creator, I really have a free license to call them out on their shit, as long as I have the balls to do it. At least that's how I kind of perceived it.
That's true.
So I did make actually 2 YouTube videos, each on a specific different creator / company that creates content that I have some hard problems with that I think need to be addressed and people aren't talking about.
Can we get any hints on who these individuals or companies are?
I mean, I won't give any direct hints about the companies or the people specifically, but I will say that they are based in like a film community. They talk a lot about political identity and political politics, obviously all politics are political. Sorry, I'm getting my tongue tied because I'm trying to make sure I don't step on any of these landmines. This is the type of shit that gets people mad.
Right.
But it's just that like they mask their channel as a community revolving around film appreciation and gaming and geek culture. But it's all a thinly veiled mask for him to push his political opinions, which is fine, but if you're gonna do that, come out and say it, you know. And also he makes up a lot of bullshit about himself being harassed that I see zero evidence of, and I've tried to contact them directly, to let them know, like, I'd like to see some of the stuff that you're talking about, and I'm getting no response. And I understand I'm a small individual, so I could get why they don't want to respond, but I made the honest attempt and I got no response. And I don't know, it's just some stuff that's rubbed me the wrong way. Some people get away with some stuff that they shouldn't, and I don't love being the dude to call people out on that kind of stuff, but like I feel like right now is my best chance to do it. before like it, like while I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, I'm taking off right now, but like while I'm still comfortable before I lose my nerve. It has nothing to do with how I'm doing, in a virtual setting. More like where I'm at now, I feel confident in being able to call out certain people. And so like it feels weird. I hate being all like holier than thou and shit like that, but it does feel, I'm not going to say it's my job or anything like that, but sometimes I do feel like I get put in these situations, or I notice these opportunities for a reason, and I'm like, maybe I should say something. So I decided to stop fucking censoring myself. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, there's always, when you're on the internet, you're always subject to criticism, and there's always going to be those people who are actually warranted for said criticism more than others. So honestly, I see no problem with what you're doing, to be honest.
Like, people hate me and give me shit for my name, so if they're gonna do that, I might as well put out my actual opinion and let them try to hate me for that instead. I'd rather be hated for my opinion than hated for my fucking name or where I come from.
That actually makes a lot more sense, to be honest, because the moment you started hating on, race or name, then it's like, all right, that's racist, bro. Like, come on, you can do better than that. You can do better.
Like, hate me for fucking disagreeing with you on a movie that you love. Hate me for calling your favorite movie the worst shit that I've ever seen. Hate me for fucking your girlfriend. Hate me for fucking confusing your parents and getting myself involved in their relationship. Hate me for anything, bro. Hate me for anything, but don't hate me for my fucking skin tone. Don't hate me for my name, Like, that's some pussy shit.
Yeah. Completely agree. I think I've covered almost everything that I wanted to talk about. Do you have any plans that you want to do for the future in terms of, your Twitch channel? Actually, before we go, there's actually one more topic that I wanted to talk about. Twitch in general has been moving in a direction that I'm not too sure about, because I've been thinking about streaming too. I've been thinking about live streaming a couple episodes, or just me just doing some just chatting, just chopping it up. But the way I've seen Twitch move, it's like there's a lot more like bathtub streams or hot tub streams, and people doing a lot of, a lot more, I don't want to say profane work, but like, I don't know how to describe it, but like,
doing stuff outside of what Twitch was originally intended for, which was mostly gaming.
Yes, exactly that. And like, I have no problem with,
which I don't even know if, sorry, I should correct myself real quick. I don't even know if that's entirely true. It just feels like it was designed for gaming. But go on.
But it's like, well, I mean, I feel like you're right regardless. But like, even then, it's like, I don't know. It just feels weird, especially because I feel like it would contract like, the TOS, which is terms of service for Twitch. I feel like that just heavily goes against TOS. And I think recently Twitch has been, cracking down on it, but I'm not 100% sure, because sometimes I still get recommended like a hot tub stream. I'm like come on, I'm not down bad for that.
You know what? As a Twitch streamer, I've been asked this question a bunch of times by people in chat, or by like other Twitch streamers who assume I'm gonna agree with them right away, that they hate the bathtub streams and they hate that women like grow really fast on Twitch. So I'm gonna like skyrocket bullet point all of my opinions on this, and people can love me or hate me for that shit real quick.
Go for it.
So, I don't think hot tub streams are necessarily a problem. If people want to do that, that's fine. TOS technically says that if they're in the right conditions for, like, if you're at a pool and you're wearing a bathing suit, that's fine. If you're in your bedroom and there's no pool, that's not fine. People found the way around it. They put a pool in their bedroom. If anything, I think that's just smart. So I'm not going to hate the player or the game, to be honest. I don't give a shit. I just don't care. Right. Two, because I'm going to leapfrog to a few different points that kind of segment off this. Two, yes, it is a little bit easier sometimes to grow on Twitch as a female. Sometimes, not always. That's not always a 100% true statement. And even if it was, who fucking cares?
I mean, okay, let me preface it like this. It's not like I have an issue with it.
I know. I'm not saying this like sorry, I didn't mean to sound aggressive towards you.
No, I knew what you meant. I was just saying
specifically about a few people who have asked me about this and got mad at my response.
It's not like I have an issue with, the hot time streams or like, the women doing it, because that's their body, that's their choice. I don't care. I mean, as a guy, I'm like, haha, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind. Obviously, you're not going to be, a creep towards them, but like, I don't know, at the same time, it just feels weird in a sense. I don't know how to properly describe it. Where it's like I don't have an issue with it because they're doing what they want, and they're taking advantage of who they are. So I'm like, I have no issues.
Personally, I think creating its own category for it was like kind of stupid. Not because I don't think it deserves it, because I'm like, oh no, it doesn't deserve its own category. Because I think it's a meta. I think it's a fad. I don't think it's gonna last for that long. So I think creating an entire category for it was dumb. I think it's also really stupid that it took this long for Twitch to get a food and drink category. I don't know how long that's been around, but it feels like it's recent, and I feel like that should have been a thing from a long time ago.
Right.
As it's become slowly more and more popular on Twitch, and I've noticed that a lot more of it was in the just chatting section until recently. I forgot where I was earlier, but yes, I think sometimes being a woman on Twitch can be an easier way to growth, but it's also an easier way to a lot more hate.
Big time.
And then also, like, and I'm really sorry to the young men who are going to hear this and get upset with this. Guys, it's been a man's world for a long fucking time. Women still don't get treated as equally as they should. I know there's technically equal rights, but that's only on technicalities. And yes, you can have your argument and say that yes, women do have some shit over men that they get away with and that they get to their benefit. There's pros and cons to both. But there's a lot more pros, I'd say, to being a guy. We were born lucky in that sense. So if women get the opportunity to grow a little bit faster online, fucking suck it up. Like, I don't know, maybe that's a little harsh.
Agree. No, I agree.
That might be a little harsh, but like, here I am, like, here, you want some personal, some actual factual shit?
Go for it.
I'm gonna drop the name of another Twitch streamer that I really appreciate, Miss DeVille. So some of y'all may know Miss DeVille, maybe not. She is growing on stream really, really quick. I think she just had her celebration stream last night that she hit 3K viewers, or not viewers, sorry, 3K followers.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure she's almost at 4 now already. So she's been taking off really fast, and she's a close personal friend of mine. I actually told her for a long time, I was like, yo, please get on Twitch. I've been doing it for a few months now. I think you would love it. And not only do I think you would love it, I think you would blow up because 1, not only are you a pretty girl, but 2, you actually deliver good content. 3, you are very well spoken. And 4, I know you can actually game. That was the crux of most of our friendship. We grew up playing Borderlands, you know? And she blew up, right? Doing it for less time than I did, with not even as good equipment at the beginning. In fact, she still uses my microphone to this day. One of my old mics. But like, she's a homie, it's whatever. And she blew up, right? I've been at it for longer. I just hit 250 followers, which I'm fucking so happy for, like, I'm mad proud about that.
Of course.
But I know there's so many dudes that if they were in my shoes would have been bitter towards Miss DeVille, thinking like, oh, I helped get her on here, I'm not growing, I'm not doing this. And like, I think that shit's silly, like, I don't get why, like, I can't. And I'm bringing this up because somebody else actually asked me about this in IRL. They were like, are you upset that like she blew up and you didn't? I'm like, why the fuck would I be? Like, I'm proud of her, what I mean?
Of course.
So like, I never got that. Like, and it's not like she's not working. It's not like all these women aren't working. They're fucking grinding, dog. Like, they're working. It may not look like it to you, but they definitely are putting in that fucking work. Some of them maybe not, but those ones usually get weeded out. I mean, we've seen some of those blow up, like some clips of some terrible female streamers blow up on the internet. They usually drop away and disappear for quite a while, right? So like, at the end of the day, just be a good fucking person. Stop worrying about other people's streams. Focus on you. And if you're negative and you're not enjoying yourself, it's gonna come across that way. You're not gonna grow, So just be proud of your moments. I hit 250. I'm on fucking cloud 9, bro. I'm so happy because I never thought I'd hit that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I guess that's how I want to end it on my little spiel, my little rant, is just fucking be yourself. Be happy with what you have. Stop looking at the shit other people have and focus on how you can do better for you,
Makes perfect sense to me. I mean, like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, honestly, even as a friend yourself, like, why would you be bitter towards someone else that's doing quite well in, you know, your same field? If anything, you would be more proud of that fact. You'd be like, yeah, good fucking
real.
job. And it's like, even then, you could just view it as a friendly competition, because who doesn't look at their friend and be like, yeah, I can, you know, I'm proud of them, but I can also do the same thing as well. It's just like a motivating factor. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to work harder so I can get to that same level.
It also, like, here's the thing, like, some people probably will think like, oh, she only blew up because she's a girl. Like, no, she blew up because her whole life took like creative classes, you know, like she did theater, she did the arts, you know, she knows how to talk with people, she knows how to be bubbly, she's also a really good gamer, she's a genuinely good person, and so like that shit shows off. And not to mention, she's consistent, she has a schedule. I've been at it for longer and I still just set my schedule.
We both have no schedules, bro. It's actually bad.
So that would be that, like, how could I get mad at her for blowing up if I didn't have a schedule, right?
Right.
That, like, that's on me. That's on me. So I can't get mad at her. I gotta focus on me and do better. You know, like, so I think it's a silly thing to be upset about shit like that, in my opinion. Like, of course, you might be thinking like, man, I wish that was me. And yeah, and to a certain degree, like, yeah, it'd be fucking dope if I had 3,000 followers. But I'm not hurt that I don't have it. I'm happy for her. You know what I mean?
Why else would you be mad? Like, that's those type of people who are like really negative and just like want to spread negativity to other people. It's like, come on.
Only time I'm negative when it comes to somebody's follower count is when they're actually like an absolute cunt of a person.
Oh,
If they got 3K followers and they're an awful person, I'm like, fuck you. I deserve that, not you. You know, that's the only
like,
time.
Come on. It's like you can tell. It's like you can tell which one is like better, which one is worse, or like, you know, you can tell who deserves it and who actually doesn't. And you're like,
when I feel, but like I get greedy, you know, like when I feel like somebody deserves it, I'm like, good for you. And when I feel like someone doesn't deserve it, I'm not like, you don't deserve that. I'm like, I fucking deserve that.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense to me. The fuck?
So I only get toxic that way about people I hate.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I get it. I perfectly get it. I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about today, but is there anything else that you want to, you know, bring up? Is there any plans that you have for the future?
I mean, nothing big. About to bring some new games to my stream. If anybody end up seeing the video version of this, this is the new layout. Yeah, so my viewers on Twitch haven't even seen what this looks like yet. But yeah, so there is going to be some new games coming out on stream. Some more single player stuff, so get excited for that. We did God of War. I didn't get to finish Ghost of Tsushima, RIP, my last hard drive on my PlayStation. And I'm gonna have some videos out on YouTube discussing some really, really interesting stuff, including some of the stuff that I'm into and why I'm into it, being some anime stuff, some film stuff. The film stuff will be more in depth with my breakdowns because that is what I actually studied, so it's I can't really talk about the animation process if I don't know fuck all about animation, right?
That's facts.
And if you love the drama, follow my fucking Twitter because I call people out every goddamn day.
Oh, I'll link your Twitter, I'll link your Twitch, and then I'll link your YouTube all in the description as well for you. Don't even worry about it.
But like actual like warning, don't follow my Twitter if you don't like seeing racist basically thrown in the bin, because that's a lot of what my Twitter is. It's just me arguing with people who are blatant racists.
I mean, hey, they deserve it. They deserve to get shit on. The fuck?
We out here picking fights. We out here picking violence.
Hey,
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's a daily life here, bro. But I think we covered everything. I think we genuinely covered everything. I want to say thank you to you for hopping on. Really do appreciate it.
Bro, thank you so much. It's like I've been waiting for filming my episode, man. Like I like I told you, bro, I'm your #1 fan. Like I actually fucking love your podcast, and I'm so happy I get to be on it.
Hey, I appreciate the support and everything. We're only going to be doing bigger things. Make sure you check out Jehad on not on Instagram, on Twitter, on his Twitch, and as well as on YouTube, all under the same name, JehadWaka. I'll put all the links in the description. But yeah, that's about it. Thank y'all for making it to the end of the episode. If you want to show love to the podcast, follow me on both Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast and Twitter at Most Wanted Pod to stay up to date on guest features, upload days, and more. Once again, I want to shout out those listening in on Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Anchor. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give a 5-star rating and review. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify as well as on YouTube via the Bar Hive channel, where not only you can find my podcast, but plenty of other top-notch material. Till next time, we out. Easy, y'all.
Peace.